Hello. Welcome in, everybody. This is going to be a little interesting today, I think. You might notice my face camera might jitter from time to time. I'm not 100% sure why, but I don't think it's going to be terribly important. My face just might freeze occasionally, but then pick itself back up again. But the table screen seems to be fine, and my mic seems to be fine. So if nothing else, you'll hear me and see the game. So that's the point. And you'll see my face a little bit here and there, hopefully. But anyway, yeah, so welcome in. Today we are playing a brand new one, again, right off the truck. This is from kind of fresh from Essen. Essen Spiel is a big board game convention in Germany, Essen, Germany. And it happens every year. It's kind of like their version of PAX Unplugged in Europe, if you will, but it's probably even bigger. It's huge. And games that show up at Essen ultimately end up, I think, many times being released in the States by US distributors within 6 to 12 months. It really just depends on the timing and who decides to pick it up for distribution and who doesn't. This game is by Iron Games. You might remember a game that I covered a while back called Peloponnese. It's a classic, a modern classic anyway. It is a drab brown Euro. This is not as drab. Same designer, Bernd, runs Iron Games. Wonderful human. If you ever had a chance to support Bernd, please do. I really like his games. I like his sensibility. This game is more complicated than Peloponnese, for sure. It feels a little similar in some ways, which I think is a good thing. I particularly love it. But this is bigger, as you can tell. The board is really zoomed out, as you can tell, because it is very wide. Probably one of the widest boards, other than maybe Flamecraft that I've seen in a while. Flamecraft is narrow and really long. But that made this quite challenging to put on the screen, to the extent that I actually have to show you like the left side of the board a little special. And if, by the way, if the camera gets a little bit grainy, please pipe up in chat. I can fix it. I just need to know about it. Sometimes it's hard to spot. Anyway, on the left side here is a little bit more of the board even than what you could see in the larger view. It just couldn't fit it all on camera. Similarly, here's the right side of the board. And there's also more content on the right side of the board that you can barely see. I'm going to have to use some of those rights and left cuts like that when I need to show you the extreme edges of the board. But when the bulk of the game is going, we'll probably be here or we'll be down here in my player area. This is my tableau here. So what's going on? What are we doing? Well, this is Papyria. This is a game set in 1500s BCE in Mesopotamia. So this is, think Tigris and Euphrates. Think what I think the West would have classically called the cradle of civilization, right? This is where one of the very earliest sophisticated civilizations grew. It is in modern day Iraq and Kuwait area. So this is an area where papyrus is, kind of the writing medium. They've figured out how to actually make paper out of in papyrus. And then the currency that we're usually using in this time period is lapis lazuli, or as my partner likes to refer to it, lappy. So you'll probably hear me say lappy a lot because it's just an affectionate thing. And that started because lapis is a mineral that you can, or an ore type that you can get in Minecraft. So we used to play Minecraft a lot. And so whenever we find Lappy, it was really cute and fun because it was really pretty and dark blue and unlike a lot of the other elements you can find in that game. So anyway, affectionate callback to Minecraft there. Anyway, so we'll be trading our currency in the game. We'll be trading lapis in order to get things done. What are we trying to do? Well, we're trying to build and expand the civilization of Mesopotamia. And we start out with our modest little, and I'll push in a little closer here, our modest little civilization here. We start with 3 tiles in the solo game. I think it's actually true that we start in 3 tiles no matter what version of the game you have. In a multiplayer game, it's actually a starting draft where you're taking some amount of tiles, you're picking one, it goes around, and then you pick another group of tiles, you draw one, that goes around. And you end up with this starting set of tiles. In the solo game, you're simulating that draft by just shuffling up all of the tiles, grabbing a certain amount, drawing one, and then that's your starting tile. And then you grab another chunk, draw one randomly, and that's your other starting tile. So it's kind of a make do with what you get, but because it's solo, you have a lot more flexibility anyway, so it's kind of okay. So let's see, what are we doing? Well, we have tiles that we're going to be building out. And I should, before I really get too far off on a tangent, I should use something brand new that I've been making for myself to make my life a little bit better. So we're going to move into kind of the kind of game teach section of the stream today. So I'll use my little fancy interstitial here, or lower third as they call it in the industry, to kind of talk about the game. So this is, like I said, this is Mesopotamia, 1500s BCE. We're building out our civilization of Mesopotamia, and this is our starting civ. And so on these tiles that we're going to be gaining as we explore the land and add these lands to our base or a kingdom here, you're going to find certain iconography on them. For example, you can probably barely see it, but it is a little tree. This is kind of woods, right? These up here are mountains. They're also where we will be building mines, specifically lapis mines, because we're going to try to get more money. So anywhere you see a mountain is a location that we can ultimately upgrade to build a mine. And then the trees are where you can ultimately upgrade to build a city. And then these little like sphinxy, yellow sphinxy, gold sphinx, these are sanctuaries, and we can build temples on sanctuary locations. You don't always want to do these things. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. We'll get into the logic of it. And then these locations here, you might be able to see it. I'll push in a little closer. I'll push in really close, see if I can get nice and close. That was not as close as I want. We'll go this far. Whoa, okay, there we go. That's close. So as you can see there, barely, there's a little black flag next to two scrolls. That black flag with a symbol on it means inventions. I believe that's what they're called. Yeah, they're called inventions. So this is us learning more about our world. And this is learning how to do more things. And the more things we invent, the more, that's a scoring criteria at the end of the game as well. So any good Euro, there's a million ways to score. But the way the world works in this game is that you are tracking two things. You'll notice on the main board, and I guess I'll have to pop in even closer over here. We have two trackers, really. The shield icon here and this octagon tracker here. This one down here in the bottom left of your screen is the knowledge tracker. So as we get smarter and we develop better things, we try and fail a bunch, we're going to gain more knowledge. Knowledge in this game is used as a victory point earning cap. So let's say you do a scoring action that earns you 12 victory points, but you only have 5 knowledge, then you can only score 5 victory points because you're not smart enough yet to fully take advantage of the things that you're doing. That's essentially the simulation. So you need to increase your knowledge so that you can progress further in your civilization. You can be more prosperous in the world. So what we would do, let's take that analogy. If I had a knowledge of 5 and I had done an action of 12, I would score 5 victory points. So I'd move the shield. Make sure you can see that and then it's not blurry. If it is too blurry, let me know. You'd move the shield to 5. You wouldn't move it to 12 because you don't have 12 knowledge. You do have 5, so you'd get 5 victory points. That's kind of how the relationship between these two tracks works. So how do you get more knowledge? By doing things, by scoring things. So you're going to be scoring and then you're going to be learning from that event. So you're going to be doing something to say, I built a temple, or I'm scoring my temples today, or whatever, my sanctuaries today. And when you score the sanctuaries, you're going to score based on your current knowledge and your current limits. But the act of doing that earns you additional knowledge. So you want to score no matter what, so that you can build your knowledge. And then the more you score later, the more knowledge you already have from already doing things, and your knowledge increases and your victory point gains increase along with it. Now, there are ways to specialize in this game. You'll notice there's these, the rivers on the board here, in the middle section, in the middle island here, are multipliers. These are things you can get in the game that allow you to multiply the value of the things you're scoring. So let's say I had one invention, and before I score inventions, I picked up this multiplier. Well, normally inventions are scored 1 point per. So if I had 5 inventions, it'd be 5 points. But because I picked up this multiplier, my one invention scores me 2 points, because I'd be able to multiply by 2. And where do you track those? Well, let's see, that's a better way to show you. I'll come down here, and in fact, this might be a thing to store for a quick jump cut later. So I'll quickly do that, so you can kind of see what's going on. So this is our kind of our base board. This kind of talks about, or demonstrates or tracks the amount of multipliers you have and any of the scoring conditions. So you have woods, you have mountains, you have inventions, you have river length, you have number of sanctuaries. There is a scoring kind of limitation there. Number of temples and number of cities. So we're going to be looking and tracking multipliers against each of those conditions. And there are communal goals. There are communal things that you can race towards that boost you in certain scoring areas. They're called keys. And basically the first person who qualifies for the key condition wins the key. So it's a race to satisfy those communal goals. You get the key, and then it helps you for the rest of the game. How do keys work? Well, there are 5 keys. That is really blurry. It's probably because it's pushed in really far. I'm going to have to deal with that, I think. But I think it's clear enough that I can walk you through it. So these are the 5 keys you can earn. The requirement to earn them is at the bottom. These numbers at the bottom. And they, of course, line up to cities, temples, inventions, sanctuaries, and rivers. And if we get 9 connected river tiles, we would earn this key. If we get 5 legally placed sanctuaries, we'd get that. I'll talk about placement and all that later. If we amass 8 different inventions, we will get that key. If we get 3 legally placed sanctuaries, we will get that, and 3 cities, we will get that. Yeah, so that's how to get them. Now, what happens? Well, the multiplier is on the topmost section of the key. So these would just be added to whatever multiplier you currently have. So let's say it was this city one. Currently, at the base is just times 1. So if I have 1 city, it's 1 point. But if I get this key, it would be an immediate times 3, because it would be the 1 base plus these 2 additional multipliers that you see at the top of the tile. But let's say that I was late to the party and I didn't get this city key in time. Well, the key underneath it is not as good. You still get something. What you get is the end game scoring condition. So the end game scoring is something that you also get with the fancier version of the tile. That version, you get both of the scoring abilities. But if you get the lesser of the 2, you don't get the kind of multiplier in the middle of the game. You only get the end game scoring boost. Still better than nothing, but you want to try to get to those conditions as fast as possible. Let's see. So we talked multipliers, we talked keys, but we haven't really talked about the rest of the board. It is a rondel. One cool thing about Papyria that one of the things I really like about it is you'll notice, I'll cut on the other side of the board for a moment. You'll notice that these are locations you can go to. Underneath this stack of tiles is just a little tile marker to tell you where to place these. But if I were to look closely, you'll notice that the board actually has a cutout. And these can be lifted out. So every time you set up the game, you're going to be shuffling these little square location tiles, and the entire board will be different. Each combination of locations will be different as you shuffle those tiles around. So every game you play is going to have a very different distribution of abilities at any given location on the board. So what happens is we actually have two different people that are surveying the land, looking for resources that we can gain, looking for advantage anywhere we can. One is by sea, by the boat. They're going to be on the river, sailing the river around. That's why there's little holes in the river, because our little boats, if you were playing this with other human beings, they would stand up in the little hole. But thematically, I think just so you can see it better on the camera, I will lay them down, but they do fit in the holes. You sail around the river, or you can have your little wanderer dude, this guy, and the wanderer can sit in these little holes, and he walks the roads. You can barely kind of see the road, but he walks around to the next section, to the next section, and so on, right? Again, for the camera, I will go ahead and just lay them down so you'll be able to see them a little better, but that's how they work. At the beginning of the game, we will decide where we're going to place our boats and our wanderers. In the solo game, you actually get 2 boats and 2 wanderers. But one of the cool things is that Barrett designed a really nice scale for this game. So in the solo game, you get both your boats and both your wanderers. The keys are the really good 3-value key and the really kind of meh 1-value key. That's why you have like a big difference between the best key and the least best key, because there's not a 2 in the middle. But if you get further down, you're into 3 or 4 players, they do add the little middle tier version of the key. And then it tells you how many location tiles, it tells you how many lappy you start with, is how many different, what a word that I'm looking for here. Multipliers. How many multipliers you put out on the board, how many different mine, I think these are mines, that's what they call them. How many different mines you put on the mine location, how many different cities and temples you put on those 2 locations. And then finally, how many different tiles you place around at the little different landscape tile locations around the board. And how many, you also place the same number of scoring tiles at the scoring tile locations around the board. Again, just helps you quickly at a glance see how many tiles go on what locations for the different player counts that you might be playing with. Really handy, very nice. It took me a minute to decipher because the game is primarily written in German, and because Barrett is German and he's in Iron Games as a German developer, so that makes perfect sense. They translated pretty dang well into English, I must say. But there you go. On the other side of this tile is the scoring conditions. Go over there. We'll talk more about those as we talk placement of tiles, but these go into exactly how the scoring works for each different type of tile we're going to lay down in our sieve. They do include other tiles as well. They talk a little bit about how to build, how to gain knowledge, and then how to do final scoring and the different actions you can take. So all iconography, all language independent boards, very cool, except of course their titles, but he includes multiple, you get English and German on the tiles, which is nice. So, okay, so what are we doing? Well, we're moving around the river and we're moving around the board on the roads with our boats and our wanderers. When we stop off at a location, let's go back here. Let's say for the moment that we're in this sector, right? If I am in my boat, I can, in the solo game, I will pick 2 of the 3 things that happen in this section. You'll notice there's a wall separating the north and south sides of the river. That means this section here is one section, and this section here is another section. So while we're here, we're going to be able to choose from these 3 things: gaining a multiplier, gaining a landscape tile to add to our tableau, and then adding or building a city. You can only build a city if you can pay the lapis to do it, though, I think. I'll double check that, but I'm pretty certain. That's how that works. So whatever we don't choose, one gets discarded. So if I don't choose this landscape tile, the landscape tile will get discarded and the new one will get displayed. That's going to be gone for the rest of the game. So I have to choose 2 of the 3, and I have to choose knowing the other one's going to be gone. And then we move on. And whether I move my boat or my wanderer, we repeat that process again. Now, let's see. I think that's all there is to talk about. There are different rules around what you have access to in the multiplayer game. In the solo game, you have access to all 3, no matter which type of pawn you place in a location. In the multiplayer game, if I were to put my wanderer here, I would only be able to choose from these 2. And I believe if I put my boat here instead in the multiplayer game, I have to take this, and I think I get 1 or 2 of the other one. I don't remember how exactly that works, because it doesn't matter, because we're playing the solo game today, and the solo game is no matter which token you place there, you get to choose 2 of the 3, period. So it's very quick, very easy. Let's see. What happens when we deplete one of these action spaces? Let's say we took all these landscape tiles. Well, the little marker underneath it that says this is where you put landscape tiles, this comes out and is replaced by one of these endgame scoring tiles. On the other side of that tile is a specific scoring, endgame scoring capability. So, so these are going to change to that type of tile as soon as we deplete one of them. As soon as this stack of endgame scoring tiles is gone, the game is over. So this is our timer, and it's really about how long it takes us to deplete stuff. And once we have a bunch of scoring conditions out on the board, the game is over when the stack of endgame scoring tiles is gone. As we loop around, we will pass these little tent markers here, and then stuff will happen. I'll cover in what those are as we go. But and in fact, I'm going to have to look some of it up because I'm still learning this game. I've never played it. I'm still wrapping my head around the nuances of the game. So I'm probably going to make some really bad calls as I'm learning. But that's the value of what I think I bring when I stream these games, is I'm learning them new. So you can watch me make mistakes and figure out the nuances of the game, and also navigate the rule books, because those are sometimes a challenge. This particular rule book's pretty good, which, by the way, it looks like this. Very cool. Let me go over here. Yeah. And it has a little English symbol at the bottom. There is a German rulebook in the box as well. Sadly, we have a thank you, but we don't have a little reference on the back. I always like to call out when I see a good reference on the back of rulebooks. Sadly, lately, it has not been a thing, and it kind of bums me out. But there we go. Here's the almost full board again. And oh, scoring. All right, the scoring tiles. So I talked about scoring multipliers. I'll just briefly touch on those again. Here's an example of a scoring multiplier. This is, we're going to score, we would score cities here. And I would take that tile, I would gain 1 knowledge, and I believe we score and then I gain the knowledge. So, but I'll double check that when I start using it. But then once I score, that tile goes off, and then the one underneath it gets revealed. So we only get to score cities in this location 1 time. This tile might show up in some other location around the map later. Maybe not. We'll see, because there's a bunch of these, and they only get shuffled, and only a certain amount of them go out every game. So which distribution, where they land, and what position they are in each of the stacks, how many there are in each of the stacks, all of that's very different. You'll notice there is one. Can you barely see it? You can't really. Yeah, not really. Okay, let me go to a different view. This is probably one over here. Yeah, okay. There's only one other location here, and this is kind of the production. So all of your mountain mines, locations that have mines on them already, produce lapis for you when you go here. So if you're running low on cash, you want to go here, and every mine you've built will produce you more lapis. Yeah. So we're building mines, we're producing lapis, we're spending lapis to build structures, whether those be temples or cities. And we're gaining multipliers. What else is there to talk about? I think that's probably it. I'm probably missing something. But I think let's talk a little bit. I did talk about our starting sieve, right? So we started with these 3 tiles. These are the 2 that I got from the draft. This is the one you start with. There is one rule I need to look up, and that is placing a tile, because I don't know if you can rotate tiles or not. I think you can, but I don't know. You are free to choose how you rotate and lay out landscapes. Great. River courses do not need to be... Oh, hold on. Hold on. Got a little warning that you guys probably are seeing some pixelations, so let me fix that real quick. All right, that should be better. If it's not, let me know. Okay. Yeah. Back to here. Great. Okay. So what? Where am I going? Right. So I can rotate tiles. I just wanted to double check I could rotate tiles because I did rotate a tile. Both of these are rotated. You'll notice actually I have 2 inventions right now. I have this papyrus invention, which just helps score. Papyrus is interesting. I need to look at that. And then this one actually lets my wanderers move 1 additional space. So they speed up. They're actually faster, stronger wanderers that can move further in a single turn. So I can gain multiples of those, and then they'll move even faster, potentially. But papyrus, let's talk papyrus for a moment, because that's the one thing I'm still unclear of. And again, like I mentioned, I am learning the game, so bear with me as I figure it out. Yeah, okay, papyrus production. When taking papyrus, you take 2 papyri for your settlement invention, right? Further inventions of this kind increase the production. And what do I spend papyrus on? Let's see. I think I spend papyrus on papyri on building temples? No, temples are lapis. So what do I spend it on? What am I spending it on? Ah, okay. So I can spend papyri to score. At certain locations, I can spend it to, there are these, you'll notice there are some scoring tiles along the edge of this board on the right side. Well, this is one of those little tents you can pass throughout the game as you're looping around the board. And when you pass them, you can barely see it here, but on the, you can spend 1 to gain 4 knowledge, I think. Is that what that is? I can spend 2 papyri to gain 7 knowledge, or 3 papyri to gain 9. I think that's what that means. Let's see. I want to make sure I'm not wrong. Is this the correct? Let me just make sure I got it right. Oh, I didn't. That is backwards. Hold on. That makes a lot more sense. Okay. I got these little tents backwards. No wonder. Pardon me. Okay, so this is the little scoring bridge thing that I should have had here in the first place. But I can spend 2 papyri when I cross this line to score one of these tiles. And once I score these, they're out of the game. So these are kind of 6 one-shots. But as I loop around and I pass this, if I have the papyri to spend, I can score one of these tiles. Now, on the other side of the board, over here, this is the one we were just talking about. When I cross this line, I can spend papyri for knowledge. On your ship, you move your ship or your wanderer across the border. You discard either 1, 2, or 3 papyri and gain 4, 7, or 9 knowledge. You always move your knowledge marker before your 2 main actions. Ooh, cool. That's nice. Okay. Let's see. Your knowledge determines the max number of points you can receive for 1 scoring. Any excess points are forfeited. We talked about that earlier. You move your knowledge marker forward in 3 different ways. A scoring tile shows whether and how much knowledge you gain. An end game tile shows whether and how much knowledge you gain. And then when you pass that location, spending papyri to gain knowledge. Now, Let's talk scoring tile. You first gain knowledge, then perform the scoring. Oh, it is backwards. That's cool. All right, so you're not scoring and then gaining knowledge. You're gaining knowledge and then scoring. Cool. So here's what I mean when I say that, or when the book says that. So here we'd be scoring temples, and I would gain 1 knowledge. Well, I would gain 1 knowledge first, and then I would score. So let's say I have 5 knowledge to start with. Well, if I went here right now and I had built a temple somewhere in my civilization, I would have 1, and so I would only score 1 point. So that's fine. I have 5 knowledge. I would score 1 point. But when I came here to score this, I would first gain another knowledge. So my knowledge would go up to 6, and I'd still only score 1 point because I only have 1 temple, and I don't have any multipliers for temples right now. So that's how that would go. But let's say I, for whatever reasons, had like 6 temples. This would earn me my 6th point, and I would score all 6 points because I would have 6 knowledge. So I would score 6 and be able to actually score all 6 because I had 6 knowledge available. So the more knowledge you gain, the higher your scores can go when you conduct scoring. That's basically the gist of it. All right, enough talk. I guess sorry, not enough talk. I do have one more tile that we need to look at when we pass those locations. I don't really know what that tile means either. Oh, there we go. If you land in a section where there is another player, no, that's not it. Is it just that you gain papyrus? Is that all that tile does? It's probably all it does. It's probably that simple. Here you produce lapis papyrus for all your matching mines and inventions. Oh, really? And inventions? Is that what that means? Ah, I see. Okay. I think I get it. I think I get it. Weird though. For matching inventions. Let's see. What do we have here? Not sure what that's supposed to mean, matching inventions. Okay. Okay, good. You can still see. Let's see if there's some scoring examples here. No, that's not what I want, actually. I don't want scoring examples. I want main actions. Perform scoring, build a temple, papyrus production. When producing papyrus, take 2 papyri for your settlement. Further inventions of this kind. Ah, okay. Okay. I think I get it. Right. So, okay. So, sorry for the delay. This location here is what I was trying to research. And this basically says for every papyrus symbol in your civilization, you gain 1 papyrus. So they basically produce papyrus for you. So if I look at my civilization right now, I have in my starting tile 2 papyrus symbols. So if I were to go to that location and activate it, I would gain 2 papyrus. 2 papyrus is a good way, gaining papyrus is a good way to really get a lot of knowledge fast. And knowledge is really going to help us score a lot of points. So we definitely want to do that. What are we actually targeting, by the way? There is a solo mode rules in the back, and it gives you some targets. The lowest point value is we're going to be trying to beat Aziz's score of 260 points. If we get 290 points, we beat Hammurabi's score. So we'd be essentially saying we're playing Hammurabi, if you will, or Lilith, or Ishtar, or Gilgamesh, or Tiamat. And so the lowest is 260 and the most points is 400 points to beat those people. That's a lot of points. This board only gets tracked to 50 and then you have to stack more tokens on it to count for the number of 50s that you have. So that's a lot. There's a lot going on there. So we want lots of knowledge because that lets us score a lot. So let's get into playing. Enough talking. I think we've done that. Let's talk what we're going to do. Well, we start out by placing our workers, our boats, and our wanderers. So where do we want to go? Well, we can pick wherever we want, and from that point forward, we start moving. I can't obviously place a boat in the same location. Once I'm there, I'm there, and I can't go there again until I move my boat out of there. Where do I want to go? Well, we have a lot of mountains in our civilization right now. And so I can build a lot of mines. So I think building mines makes sense. We also can can also produce papyrus because we can still produce at least 2 right now. So maybe what we do, we could go here. This location has a dead-end river space, which is not ideal, but not the end of the world, because right now in our civ, we have 3 river outlets. So I can cap one of those and still build a bigger river pretty easily. This, at the end of this river, gives me another mountain location, not bad, and another papyrus production, also not bad. There is another one of those over here that gives me papyrus, and this gives me a sanctuary location. Also not bad, because we can build temples at sanctuary locations. So that's not a bad thing either. There is no other papyrus location on the board right now. So I think between the two, I have lots of mountains right now. I think I want to come here and get this tile. And I do have 2 lapis, so I think I can build a city as well. Or I could come here and get one of these scoring multipliers for cities instead. But if I do that instead of build a city, then one of these cities will come off and I won't be able to build these again. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how that works. So I have to be careful not to, if I get a scoring multiplier, not to let too many of these cities go, or I won't be able to build enough to actually make it worth it. I don't know that I'm going to build more than 5 cities. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring my wanderer over here. And then we get to take 2 actions. This is my first time taking an action, so it's going to take me a minute. I want to make sure I get it right. So on your turn, you move either of your ships or 1 wanderer. Of course, I'm placing for the first time, so that's a little different, but that's fine. Yep. 2 main actions as normal, then play cloud. Yeah, okay, right, fine. Make sure there's nothing strange going on in the solo game that I need to pay attention to. 3 actions, yep. You remove the corresponding good, yeah, okay. Yep. Now I think that's right, but okay. That's how I'm going to play it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's fine. All right. Good. You can hear me. Just making sure my audio is working. Nobody's here talking to me. So I don't know. Just making sure. If you pay 2 per additional actions. Right. Oh, wow. So in the solo game, when you perform a scoring action on one of those scoring tiles, then you remove another scoring tile somewhere else on the board. So for every 1 you do, you're discarding 2. You're basically sacrificing one other one that you're not going to be able to use. Wow. Okay. And similarly, if I fulfill the key, then I discard the one underneath it, which makes sense because then you're not going to have two keys of the same type. You're only going to have one of the same type. That's fine. All right, good. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's talk actions. So first and foremost, we're going to take the landscape tile. So we're going to take this tile and we're going to put it into our sieve. Now, I'm inclined, placement-wise, Papyrus has no placement requirement, but sanctuaries do. So if we look here on our sanctuary scoring, they only score if they are diagonally adjacent or further apart. If they are orthogonally adjacent, neither one of the two sanctuary locations scores. So I'm never going to want to put them north, south, east, or west from each other, only diagonals. So that actually works out okay for me in this situation, because what I could do is cap that river right there. If I do that, I'm safe because this sanctuary and this sanctuary are diagonally adjacent from one another. I couldn't put it here. I could, but if I do, then these two would not score. So I'm going to put it here instead. Now, when I produce Papyrus on a later action, I'll produce 3 instead of 2, because now I've gained 1 additional. And this is now my 3rd invention. So if I score inventions, then I will, I don't see a scoring condition out for inventions right now, but later they might. And if I score inventions, then I would score for 3 inventions, not 2. So that's how that works. Okay, so we've done that one action. What do we do here? Well, we flip this tile over. And that's now the next one. Of course, we can't get that right now. I have to take a different action. Let's get a... I don't have any cities to score. And there are 2 other, you see these city multipliers? There are 2 other of those. There's this one, and one other one on the board right now. So even if I lose this one, I still have the ability to get this at least one other time somewhere else. So I think I might spend my 2 lappy on building a city. If I found a city, you take the city and use it to overbuild any wood in your display. This wood is no longer available when scoring woods. That would be my one and only wood, and I'm sacrificing it to make a city. Your first city costs you 1 lappy. Oh, that's nice. Your second city costs you 2 lapis, and so on. Oh, okay, so the quantity of cities increases their cost. Well, I can get one for cheap now, at least. Yeah, let's do that. Let's build. So we're going to discard one of our lapis. Like I said, you start with 2. You can probably barely see it. Really dark. But you start with 2, so I'll discard 1. And I will pull back one of these cities, like that. Now, if I come here on my board, there's only one place I can build it, and that's here. Now, I can do that wherever I want, right? I don't have to have my little worker guy. I think he's either the priest. I don't forget what he is. What's his name? His name is the priest. Yeah. Okay. So I will build that city right on top of that 1 wood location. So now I don't have a wood anymore, but I do have a city. Very cool. All right. So that was my first worker. Where do I want to place my next one? Well, we just got rid of some woods. So maybe we want to get more. Mountain ranges and woods want to be orthogonally adjacent. No, is it orthogonally or just adjacent, period? I think as long as it's one big cluster, you're okay. Let's see. Not diagonally. Okay, so they do have to be orthogonally adjacent. Woods do. I'm sorry, mountains do anyway. Woods are also orthogonally. Okay. Okay, all right, so that's good to know. Uh, so interestingly, you see how this river ends right here? I can put a tile right here that doesn't have a river on it, and it just caps the river. Like this, but without anything, but without any kind of water location stuff going on. So it doesn't count towards the river. This one counts towards the river, but just putting a tile here would not. A regular tile. So I could just, cut one off, but I don't think that's thematically appropriate. So I'm not going to do that. But there's nothing saying I can't build a tile just like without any water on it. I can just build it out here on the edge of the tile, like on the edge of the space over here. It's essentially discovering the countryside without any water in it. So that's totally fine. I can build out that way. I don't have to have a river tile. But what does that mean? That is interesting. What does that mean? What does it mean? Is there when you take a landscape from a pile, you may look at one more face down landscape below. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. What I was looking at, there is this tile at one of the locations we could pick up, and it's got this invention on it that has a landscape symbol on it. I was like, what does that mean? It means that if I build this tile, if I put this into my sieve, then I can look at the tile underneath the tile that's in the stack and decide which one I want to take. And that would give me a lot of flexibility. That might be worth getting. And it would increase the size of the river, which would be nice. So many things I can go for. I'm trying to decide what's good for me right now. I don't want to do scorings at the moment. Oh, right. Hold on. I did miss something. At the end of my turn here, I was supposed to discard what I didn't use. So that scoring tile is now gone, and this one is in its place. So this stack is one tile lower, but that's truly the end of my turn there. So now where am I going to go next is what I was trying to decide. Well, it could go over here and get this tile that lets me look at landscape tiles. And I could also get a multiplier for inventions. And what's nice about that is I wouldn't have to discard anything because the third location here is a production. So the only thing that's not happening is I'm not producing Lappy. I can't right now anyway because I haven't built a mine. So maybe I should build a mine. I think maybe I should. But first, maybe I should build a mine. Man, this is the trade-offs are rough. Like I want to go there and get that tile and produce, but I don't want to sacrifice that multiplier for inventions because I'm gaining a lot of them. And there's not another one of them out. I may not see another multiplier for inventions. So that's a little scary. What do I want to do? Let's make sure that everything is good. We're good. All right, we good. Well, man. Well, let's not overthink it. Let's not produce for now. Let's put our boat over here. And we'll get this tile. And we'll talk about placing that in a moment. And we'll get this multiplier. And we'll talk about placing that in a moment. And since we land, the third location is not something that can be discarded, nothing else gets discarded. Good for me. And then what does it say? Oh, it's a scoring tile. That's right. Playing solo. Right. If you pay Papyria, initial scoring. Okay. Just want to make sure I'm not messing up the solo rules. They are a little different. All right. All right, cool. So now let's go look at what we're going to do with our two new resources. Well, for one, this is, we can either put this here. That's legal. We could put it here instead, also legal. Part of me thinks that is the thing to do, but I don't think it really matters. I can't put it here, actually. I can't at all. That is wrong. That I can't do because you can only build adjacent to your priest. So the only place I can put this is here. And when you build a new location, the priest moves over to it. So I might want to get a right-hand turn and go this way so that I can build in adjacent to these mountains. But either way, I now have my fourth invention. That's great. So let's talk inventions. We come over here. This is the rule book. Can you see that? Barely. Looks really blurry. Let's see. Let's come here for a moment. I want to check on something. It's going to think about it. It's going to think about it. Oh, that's probably way better. Sorry about the blurry. That's probably way better. Let me know if it's not. Okay, so we'll come here. That's probably going to be a lot better now too. Hey, look at that. Probably way better. Okay. Okay, so this is where we track our multipliers. So this new multiplier I just picked up would go right here. So now, every time we score inventions, I would score 2 points per invention that I have. So if I were to score inventions right now, I would get 8 points. Actually, no, I would only get 5 because my knowledge is 5, but I could earn up to 8. How's that? Is that better? Okay. So that's our first multiplier. And that's that. So where do we want to go next? Well, I have 3 mountains and 2 sanctuaries. Sanctuaries score 2 per legal sanctuary. So it would be 4 points. So I could come here and score mountains. Since it's 3 and it's only 1, it would be 3 points. I'd get all 3 of those points, but I would also gain 3 knowledge. So now I would be up to 8 knowledge. So I could let this scoring sanctuaries multiplier go and instead produce, but I don't have any mines. So I don't really go there right now. I want to build a mine first. Rivers are 1 point, so I get 4 points. I could come here and build a mine and score some rivers, but my river's not very long right now, and it would only be like 4 points. So where else can I build? Over there. Ooh, there's a turn. How much does it cost to build a mine? I built a town. I probably should have built a mine first. That was probably dumb. Mountain scoring. Lapis production. How do I build a mine? Papyrus. Building a mine. Oh, they don't cost me anything. Nice. Okay, cool. All right, so since they don't cost me anything, maybe I do go here. I'm going to take my worker and I'll come here and I'll get a mine and I will take this turn. Oh, and because I have that multiplier, or that special ability, that invention, I get to choose between these two. I think I am going to put this on the bottom of the stack. I'm allowed to arrange this however I want. So I'm going to take the turn like I planned. I'm not going to take this. And I think that's what that means. Can I choose to see what it does? Let's see. Ah, I see. It says in any order, but I don't know if that really makes sense. So I'll check with Bernd on what he means, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to choose the one that I went to, but that's nice in terms of like knowing what it is and just being able to choose. So I'm going to turn my river here, and he's going to go over there. Okay, now the mine, right? The mine was the other thing I'm going to do. So what do I want to do? Well, I think I'll put my mine over here because these two mountains have to stay orthogonally adjacent for them to score. If I put it in the middle, I'd separate them, and then I wouldn't have two adjacent mountains, and I think I'd only score one. That's how that would work. But there you go. Okay. Well, that means where I placed my worker here. I can barely see that. Let me move it over there. There we go. Where I placed my worker, this scoring tile goes away because I didn't choose it. All right. So now let's recap a moment. I have one more boat to place, and I have my two wanderers right here and here, and I have one boat here. So I might want to put my other boat somewhere on this side of the world so that I could get at stuff relatively easily. Because from once they're placed, they move, and then they're subject to their movement limitations. Right now, I can start wherever I want. I don't think I'm gonna, though. I kind of want to come over here. No, you know what I'll do instead? I could come over here instead. If I came there, I would be able to produce papyrus, which I would make 3 right now. And I would be able to gain this city score multiplier, which would make my city, my one city at the moment, score 3 points. It would mean discarding this, which I'm not too sad about, but I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, let's do that. I don't know why else I would do that, but that's what I'll do. So I'm going to take that, and then this goes down here. I'll show that. Oh, you can see that right there, kind of, not really. So here is what it looks like. I put that down there. So now I score 3 per city. And then I'm going to use this location here to produce papyrus. So if I look, I produce 3 papyrus because I have 3 papyrus in my sieve. So I'll just, from the supply, grab 3 papyrus. Okay, so now I have 3. And then this top tile here, landscape, gets discarded. Oh, that's not bad. In fact, I might want to get that sometime soon. Because if we look at my sieve, this tile that I built has 2 forests on it. And that tile is a straight river, which would go this way and add 2 more forest. So that would make a nice little forest going on. I could build another city. That's not terrible. Make the river longer. I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at that point. Let's talk keys for a minute. Here's what I'm talking about. I'd have to build 3 cities to satisfy the requirements to gain this key. 3 temples, which I haven't built any yet. 8 inventions. I'm at 4, so I'm halfway there. 5 sanctuaries. I'm have 2. And then 9 river. I have 5 presently, so I'm a little over halfway there. So working our way towards any of those. Okay, now that we've placed all 4 of our workers, how do they move? I've never actually done a movement before. Gameplay. Move. On your turn, you may move either one of your ships or wanderer 1 or 2 spaces forward on the game board in a clockwise direction, and then carry out 2 main actions. Clockwise direction. Okay, so this is the rondel. We're going that way. That actually works out well because I don't really want to pass these 2 locations until I've built up a little bit, because here lets me spend papyrus to score, and here lets me spend papyrus to gain knowledge. Both of those are very beneficial, but I'd like to take a couple actions before I get that far. So it actually works out that I placed my meeples where I did. So I only get to do 1, right? 1 move 1 of your ships or wanderer. Okay. Okay. What? If you land in a section where your own ship or wanderer is already on the other space of this section, you may move your priest, which is on my tableau here. You may move your priest to any of your own landscapes on your settlement at any time during your turn. Whoa, that's cool. So let's game that out. I have my boat here. Let's say I moved clockwise and I went there. I'd be able to take my actions, but I'd also be able to relocate my priest. So if we look, my priest is currently way over here, but let's say I wanted to build over there. One of the things that was bumming me out is I'd have to like work my way back over. Now I know that I don't have to. I just have to land in a space where I'm already at, and I'd be able to do that. Boom, right? I'd be able to just move him right to the spot where I want to start building. That's cool. Now, in the solo game, is that nerfed? I don't know. No, it's not. Carry out the game preparation solo zone. People did that right. Gameplay remains identical. 3 spaces you must perform. Unused main action, you remove corresponding good. Yeah, okay, good. Oh, if the lapis papyrus production was unused, remove any good from the game board. I missed that. Okay, so when I moved here and I said I didn't want to, I took these 2 things because and then left this undone. And I said, well, no, I don't have to discard anything. That's not true. I actually do have to discard something. I have to discard a good anywhere else on the board. Let's discard one of these temples. That still leaves me 5 to build both cities and temples. So I'm not out of the woods. If I skip a production location, I still have to discard something. I'm glad I read that. But it also does not say that I don't get to move my priest around when I land on my own space. So that's really cool. So, but to be clear, my boat is there presently. So where do I want to go? Well, I get to move my wanderer an additional space because I have this invention here that lets me move one more space. So he can go 1 to 3 spaces, not 1 to 2. Both of them, both of my wanderers here. So that means I could go here, here, or here, or here, here, or here with my wanderers. I sure wouldn't mind another lapis mine. And I could score rivers. And that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And gain 2 knowledge in the process. But then I'd be giving up the scoring multiplier for mountains, which is okay, I think, for right now. Or I could come here, score sanctuaries, get 4 points, gain 2 knowledge. Get a little modifier for temples, maybe. Or produce lapi. I do have a lapis mine. Well, that'd be good. I think I would like to do that after I get another mine, though. Or I could skip all the way to here, build a sanctuary, assuming I have the lapis for it, and then gain another river tile, or gain this mountain scoring multiplier. I like this. This is good. Boat-wise, similar, except I can only move 2, so it would be here or here. Well, unfortunately, it also means I'm not producing papyrus again until I've passed one of the 2 papyrus locations. What do I want to do here? Let's score rivers and get another mine. So we're going to move our guy there. And we're going to get another mine. We'll just put it adjacent to that one. Do they score? They do. All lands are adjacent to each other, not diagonally. Okay. Okay, interesting. What does that do? Invention producing lapis. What does the invention do? If your mine produces lapis, produce an additional one. What? Oh, we want that. And he gets to move a little faster. Oh, we're probably going to go get that tile. There's a tile here that lets there's 2 inventions on 1 tile. We're going to go get that for sure. This lets my lapis mines produce more lapis each mine. And this lets my wanderers move an additional space. So I'd move to 4 at that point. That's crazy pants. But anyway, so that's a target for later. What are we going to do here? We're going to score rivers or get another multiplier. I think we're going to score rivers. I want some knowledge, and we're going to score 5 points. We have no points on the board yet. So we're going to score rivers. But before we do, we're going to gain 2 knowledge. So we're going to come over here to the knowledge track. And right now I'm at 5. I'm going to go 6, 7. So I'll go to 7. So that's 7 knowledge. And by the way, I saw that because I am here. And this is the number 2. This is the amount of knowledge I gain for scoring this. So now that I have 7 knowledge, I'm going to score my rivers. Well, to score rivers, let's first look at our multipliers. I only have 1 in rivers right now. So I'm only going to times my river spaces by 1 point each. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. this doesn't count because it doesn't fork. I believe it's just scoring the length of the river. Your largest connected river. Oh, no, it is every single river space. Oh, sick. Okay, so it's actually all 6 of those. Okay, so because I'm at 7 knowledge and I have 6 river spaces and my multiplier is only 1, it's 1 times 6, 6 points. And because I'm at 7 knowledge, I get to earn all 6 of those points. So I will just take my scoring here and go to 6. 6, we're on the board. We're on the board. We have 6 whole points. We only have 260 to go. No, just kidding. Okay. Okay, so this mountain is now, this mountain multiplier is gone. Where do I want to go next? Oh, and because we did a scoring, hold on, let's come back down here. I forgot. So this scoring is what we just did. So that's gone. And because the way the game works, it says in the solo rules, oh, no, I see. I see. Oh, that's only for that one special location. Ignore me. We're still fine. Okay, so that's it. It gets removed. Oh, I get another one right after it. That's cool. All right. We're not out anything. Never mind. I misread the rule, but I caught myself before I made a mistake. So, moving on. Let's get another landscape tile. But I don't think I want this one. Maybe I do. I don't, because I want to cap. I don't want to cap my river. Do I want to do that? I don't want to reveal it unless I'm serious, because I'm kind of gambling that what's under there is something I want. Now, instead, let's come back here. Instead, I could come here, get this tile, build a sanctuary. That doesn't suck, really. Where would I go? Hey, thanks for the resub, NetGod. Welcome in. I could come here. If I do that, I would potentially put that here, but I don't want to put that there. I would prefer to put it here because then it would be diagonally adjacent to that, but I'm not there right now. So I'd have to put it there, which wouldn't be ideal because I believe sanctuaries have to be diagonal, or they just have to be apart. Oh no, they just have to not be orthogonally adjacent. Yeah, okay, so that would be a viable place to put it. In fact, I could put it right there. And then I could put another river going that way. Just get River Central going on here. That wouldn't be the worst idea, but it doesn't really have much on it other than that. I could move my boat. My boat could come here and I could get this landscape tile. This is a pretty decent tile. No river, but gives me another place to build a city. And it adds to the woods. I have a little wood grove going on over there. So I could add another wood to the grove over there and then add a mountain for another lapis location, or just scoring mountains. Totally fine. This is pretty good. But I don't really want either of these two things. I, first of all, can't afford another city right now. I guess I could get a boost in sanctuaries. I mean, in temples, but I haven't built any temples yet. It's early game, though, so who knows? Yeah, okay. I mean, I guess there's no harm, but the more I go here and don't build cities, the less cities I can build. So I have to be careful of that. I'd much rather go here when I can make money. Now, I could move my worker one step, produce some lapis. That way, when I come here, I can build another. That doesn't suck. And then I would score sanctuaries. I'd earn 4 points and go up 2 knowledge. Not a bad thing. I think that's the thing to do. Let's do that. We're going to go that step, and we are going to do these 2 actions. So this tile is going to go away because we're not going to do it. Instead, we're going to do these 2 down here. Well, first of all, we're going to gain 2 knowledge. So we're going to move our knowledge marker from 7 to 9. You can barely see it now on the side of the board over there, but it's right there if you're curious. There we go, right there, 9. And then, so that was the point. So knowledge, right? So now I'm scoring sanctuaries. So we'll look at our base board here, and my base multiplier is 2 for sanctuaries. And so we look at the number of sanctuaries in my sieve. I have 1, 2, and they are diagonally adjacent. They're not orthogonal, so they both score. So that's 2 times 2 is 4 points. So because my knowledge is at 9, I can earn all 4 of those points. So I'm going to take 6 to 10. So this comes off as now complete. And this is what we are doing now. We produce lapis. I've never produced lapis, so I'm just going to double check what it says. Lapis production. Each mine in your display produces 1 lapis. The invention that gives you additional increases your production. Okay, right. So I have 2 mines, so I produce 2 lapis. So now I have 3 lapis, the exact amount I need to build my second city. Actually, I guess technically my second city is only going to cost me 2, because I currently have 1, and they increase in cost each time you build 1. But that means I'm going to have leftover lapis, which is not a bad thing. Okay, so that's done. So now we're going to reveal, invention scoring. Glad to see another one of those come out. And a little buff to sanctuaries. Now we can move here with the boat. So I think we shall. We'll move here with the boat, and we will not take this buff. So that's going to leave. And we are instead going to build another town. But before we do, we're going to place this tile. So we're going to place that tile here. And if we pop in, you'll see why. I already have a forest grove. So this just makes that forest grove bigger. And it gives me a place to build another city, because I can build another city on top of one of my woods locations. And the thing with scoring cities is the distance between the cities is the score. So if we look here, this is the city scoring. So the tile the city is on counts, as well as the tiles in between the towns. So at the moment, if we look at this example, and let's say for the sake of argument, and in fact I will, I'll just build it right here. The tile I just placed is where I will build it. By the way, the priest moves on to this tile. Suboptimal, but it is what it is. So I built this city here, right? So I have a city here and a city here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points when I score cities. But that's not all. That's 6, right? Now we look at my multipliers. Well, I have a city multiplier. So each of it that is whatever the point value is that I just counted is times the number of multipliers. So I have 6. That would be 18 points. But here's the catch. Just as a reminder, the amount of points I earn is equal to the cap of knowledge I currently have. I'm not smart enough to score 18 points. I'm smart enough to score 9. So if I were to do that scoring right now, I would only get 9 points. I wouldn't get the full 18. I got to get smarter first before I get to do that. But it's, 9 is better than a kick in the pants. So I just need to get my knowledge up. So I might want to avoid scoring cities because I have that big hefty modifier. Leave those on the board to the extent that I can. There's one. There's another multiplier for cities. And then wait for my knowledge to go up enough to make full advantage of that. In fact, there's 2 city multipliers here. I could get these 2 more. Then I don't know how many you're allowed to have max, but I could be stupid in cities. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 6, because that's my current distance. That's a lot of points. So that 42 points. How many can you have? Key tiles, multipliers. There's got to be talking about knowledge track, preparation. Yeah. Is there a max I can have? That'd be hilarious. There it is. You take the face of multiplier. No, there is no max in multipliers. That's funny. So I could just, every time we do a city scoring, I could get a ton of points if I get my knowledge up high enough. That's interesting. That knowledge cap is kind of a pain in the ass, but I get it. So I want to take scoring opportunities that earn me a lot of knowledge. Right now, I'm looking around the board and scoring mountains might be an option because it gains me 3 knowledge when I do that. Scoring invention, which is where I'm currently at here, earns me 4. And I have 4 invention right now and a multiplier, so it'd be 8 points. And I would be able to move my priest if I went here. I'd produce more. Oh, I spent 2 of my lappy to build that city, and I didn't spend it. Naughty me. Okay, so now I'm down to 1 lappy and 3 papyrus. But I could move my boat here, and because I'm on the same space as my other wanderer, I'd be able to move my priest. That doesn't suck. I like that. Let's do it. Boat comes here. We are going to produce lappy again. So that means I'm going to get my 2 back. And we're not going to take the sanctuary multiplier, but we are going to score invention. So I gained 4 knowledge. 1, 2, 3, 4 knowledge. So now I'm up to 13 knowledge. And I have 4 inventions. Double check here. 1, 2, 3, 4 inventions. in my sieve. And because I have a multiplier of 2, that's 8 points. So I would go from 10 to 18 points. I need one more city, and then I earn the key for cities, which, by the way, gives me 2 more multipliers for cities. I like it. Okay. Oh, now I get to move my priest because my 2 workers are in the same sector there. Where do I want my priest to go? Well, that's an interesting question. I could come here, and that would let me continue the river that way. It would also let me build around this way. I think I need to be on a river spot, though. In fact, another city multiplier. That's ridiculous. Let's count that for a minute. It would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 multiplier for cities. And then it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 11 is 66 points every time I score that, assuming I could get to 66 knowledge. Wow. With what's on the board, that's crazy. I mean, that's a huge investment. And the thing is, the scary part is I can only score cities when you land on a scoring tile for cities. And right now there's only one. Only one. Even over here, these 6 tiles right here, there's not a single city scoring in it. So as good as that is, I'm scared to invest in city scoring just because I don't see a lot of scoring opportunities for cities. There might be more underneath there, though. There's some more tiles in the stack, so I might get a couple, like 1 or 2, and maybe hedge my bets and go do other stuff. Anyway, problem for future shub. So what are we going to do? We have enough lapis to build our 3rd city, but we don't have enough stone? We don't have enough mountain, rather. Where do I want to move this guy, first of all? Here or here? I like this. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I have more flexibility. When we score cities, count the lowest number of landscape between. Okay, so if I make this a big snake and I don't fill it in with stuff in between, then the landscape tiles between cities remains nice and long. I don't know if that matters, because even if I did this, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no matter what, no matter which direction I went. So it doesn't really matter. When scoring, you count the lowest number of landscape tiles between all of your cities plus the number of your cities. So it's the shared space between your cities. So building them close together isn't worse as long as you have a couple that are far apart. Part of me is like, get this and then cap it. And the reason why is there's these 2 caps right here, these 2 river caps with stuff on it that would be good to have. What do I want to do? Tough call. Could build another mine too, but I'm about to get something that multiplies my lapis, so I'm a little less worried about building mines. Sanctuary and scoring multiplier is interesting, but not compelling. Let's move the boat here. We'll get this tile and we'll go this way with it. And I think that means we're going to have to scoot everything down. That's all right. Just to fit another tile in. Right. That's legal sanctuary because it's not immediately adjacent to other sanctuaries. And then the priest moves onto it. Now I could build a sanctuary, but I don't need to. You only build temples rather when you have placed a sanctuary in a location that invalidates scoring for other sanctuaries, because this takes the place of that sanctuary and doesn't block other sanctuaries from scoring. So you can use temples to fix tile placement. Well, in this case, I don't actually need to. These are all scoring already, so I don't need to build any temples, strictly speaking. There are scoring tiles for temples, but they're not really compelling because they only gain you 1 knowledge apiece. So I don't know that I care about temples right now. Instead, I could take the scoring multiplier from mountains. No harm in that. And then just discard a temple. Sure. No problem. Temple goes off. Okay, and now that we're done with our turn, we'll reveal what's here. Another dead end. Wonderful. On the other hand, it does give me some choices, but nothing meaningful. I need to add papyrus to my town so that I produce more papyrus when we get to that point. So I think we move the boat to here. No, I could. I could move the Wanderer here, but then that's hazardous too, because now I am invalidating 2 of my sanctuaries. But I could build the temple. That's not the worst thing. Or I need the inventions too, so that's not a bad thing. What do I want to do? What I really want is this tile here, because this one gives me a mountain instead of a sanctuary. And I can score for wood trees rather than building another city. But I could build another city. I have the lapis for it. And there's no harm in it. All right, why not? So we're going to move our dude or the boat? I think we're going to move the boat. Yeah, we'll move the boat. We're going to get this landscape tile, and we are going to spend 3 lapis to build that city. So down here, we have 3 lapis. All 3 goes away because it's our 3rd city, so it's going to cost us 3. But before we can build it, we got to place the tile. So we're going to place that tile right here and cap the river at that little junction anyway. Ooh, that's not a tree, is it? I was going to build it on the mountain. Maybe I'm rethinking what I'm doing here. Yeah, maybe I am. Because I don't have any other woods to put to place a town except for here, and I don't want to do that. So maybe I'm not going to cap that river. Maybe I'm going to pull that back. Bring my 3 lappy back into my inventory here and put the city back. And instead of putting my boat there, I will do something else. What if I solve that problem by getting this tile? I'm going to move my worker here, my little wanderer. You can't see that. I'm going to move my wanderer here and get this tile instead. And because my priest is right there, he's going to build that right there and then move on to that. Okay. Now, do I want 1 knowledge and score the sanctuaries that I don't have, or do I want another city multiplier? I think I want another city multiplier. I'll try to scoot this over while we still have room for it. So at least you can see it in full on the main camera, even though it might be tiny. Okay. Then this goes away. I think I forgot to discard a sanctuary when I took that last action, so I'll do that now. Right. And if I discard too many, then, oh well. I'm just making the game harder for myself. Fair enough. Okay. That's kind of handy. I got another invention scoring right there. Might be worth doing. Get that river tile too. That doesn't suck. And here's how we're going to fix it. So we're going to move the boat here. That puts the 2 tiles on the same, or the 2 workers on the same sector. So I get to move my priest wherever I want. So I moved him back up here. That lets me place this river tile. And I'll go ahead and just do another one of those. And he'll move over to that. And then I will score my inventions. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you look close, you will see, I'll get that actually in view. There we go. There. You will see I have a multiplier of 2, so that's 8 points. So I will, yeah. So, but first I gain 4 knowledge, so 13 to 17. And then I get 8 points for my 4 inventions. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 26 points. This is going to be a low scoring game. That's all right. So that comes off. That flips over. This flips over. All right, I can finally cross this location, and this lets me spend papyrus for knowledge. I have 3 papyrus, so I can gain 9 knowledge. I caught up to my other boats, though, and I don't like that. I think I better move on. And in fact, I need to. I don't want to produce right now. I want to gain locations that let me make more papyrus. So I'm going to move my boat here. I'm going to build this tile currently right there. And he will naturally move on to it, the priest. And I can build another lapis mine. So I'm going to. I'm going to put that right there. Am I? No, I'll put it right there. No, I won't. I'll put it way over there, where there's no other mountains. What am I doing? Okay. Now, because my 2 workers are on the same sector, I get to move my priest again. So I'm going to move my priest right there, because I'm about to walk into this location, which would let me build another mountain, another end cap, and I have an end spot right there. Perfect. Okay. Now this multiplier goes away because I didn't use it. And flip it over. Ooh, that's nice. Might have to catch that on the other side. Okay, worker is going to, or wanderer is going to move over there. And he is going to build another end cap. He's going to do it right there. And the priest is going to move onto it. Yeah, this is good. And then for our second trick, what are we doing? Are we going to discard a city and take the woods multiplier? Maybe. Or are we going to build another city? Building another city doesn't do a whole lot for me. It doesn't add any additional points other than the point for its own city. Because of all the locations I could, I'd have to build it right in the middle, which doesn't add any distance between the cities. So not too ideal. I'm going to go for the multiplier. I don't like it, but it is what it is. The city token is going to get discarded, and I'm going to take that multiplier and I'll stick it here. Okay, somewhat of a generalist to this game, fascinatingly. Okay. Now let's recap our settlement here. Right now, almost every tile in here is a river. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I've passed the threshold for the river key. The river key is right here. It's this one. You can barely see it. So what I'll do is I'll take that down and I will come here and I'll show you how rivers slot in. Looks like that. So now I have the river key, and the river key that I didn't get, the cheaper of the two, goes away. What I don't know and what I don't understand is why there are 2 river, let's see. When do you discard keys in a solo game? Yeah. I don't really understand why you put out 2 keys if you're never discarding them. What am I missing? You can obtain several key tiles in your turn. Yeah. Huh. I don't quite know why you put that out. I'll have to check. There's one thing about that rule that I don't really understand. The solo game has you bring out 2 keys of each type, but you're only ever allowed to have one. The top one is better than the one below it. And if you get a key, you discard the other one because you can only have one key of each type. But there's nothing that discards keys that I'm aware of. So I don't know what I'm racing towards. Right, I'm just getting the objective. I take the best key. That always means I'm discarding the cheaper of the 2 keys, or the less valuable of the 2 keys. I'm always going to take the better of the 2. I'm always going to be the one there getting them because I'm solo. So I'll have to look and just see. And see what that's all about. I'm not quite sure why wouldn't you just bring out the 3 value keys, and then when you earn them, you get them. That's it. I don't see anything in the rule book that has you say, when you do this, discard a key. I don't know. Very, very strange. All right. If I find an answer to that later, I'll put it in the show notes in the YouTube video, by the way. What do I want to do? Oh, first I got to reveal this guy from the last turn. Yeah. Well, if I scored rivers now, I'd score a hell of a lot of points. And there is a river multiplier right here. This wood would let me build a city. Ooh, that's pretty good. That's really good. It's good enough, in fact, I think I'm going to move my boat here and I'm going to build this. Oh, I can't. Ooh. Oh, yes, I can. Yes, I can. So, because I'm on the same sector as my other worker, I can move my priest for free. So I'm going to put my priest there. And then I'm going to take this tile and I'm going to put it right where? It doesn't really matter, does it? Nope. We're going to go there, which naturally the priest goes onto it. And this is still legal, sanctuaries. So now for my second action here, I'm going to spend my 3 lapis and build another city. That's my 3rd city. And now I have a place to put it, that little speck of woods right there. So to zoom in, I added this tile and then I built a city on the woods right there. Now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I look at the number of tiles, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points times multiplier of 5. So 40. But because of my knowledge is at 17, I'd only earn 17 points right now. I got to get my knowledge up. What's a good way to do that, though? Produce papyrus, of course. Or actually, no, cross this location right here, which lets me spend papyrus for knowledge. So I got to produce papyrus. I have enough for the maximum benefit, though. And I just added 2 more papyrus production locations. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 2 more inventions. I think it might be time to cross that threshold. Is it? I can get more knowledge. Could build another lappy mine too. Tough call. Let's cross the threshold. We're going to take the boat. We're crossing the threshold. First time I've done it, so let's double check that I don't mess it up. On your turn, you move your ship or wander across the border. Or, wow. You discard either 1, 2, or 3 papyri to gain 4, 7, or 9 knowledge. Well, we just crossed our boat across this threshold here. So I have 3 papyrus. So I'm going to papyri, and I'm going to spend all 3. And I'm going to gain 9 knowledge. So that's 26 knowledge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, 26 knowledge. Great. And then for my second trick, I'm building another lapis mine. We'll go ahead and put that over there. And we're discarding this river scoring because we didn't do it. Okay. Now, we just made a mine, but we're not doing that scoring tile. That means we're producing, for our second action, we're producing papyrus. So now we look on our sieve board and we count all the papyrus symbols. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to produce 5 papyrus this turn. Which is wonderful because we're going to do it all again right now. Yes, we are. He's going to move over here, cross the threshold. In fact, I'll pop in so you can see. So he's crossed the threshold now. We just produced papyrus from our boat. So we're going to take 3 of those, and we're going to cash those 3 in for 9 more knowledge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 35 knowledge. Now we're cooking. And then for our last action, we are going to, no, this is not our last action. This is our first action. Let's just make another lappy mine. Why not? We'll put it here. We have the woods for it. We have the, not woods, we have the mountains for it. So that's what it looks like right here. We just put that right there. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lapis mines. And so we did these 2. So that means this wood scoring goes away. Okay, we have emptied a couple of our resource locations. And I didn't do something with that when I did it. So let's look at that. End of game scoring tile. If knowledge, right, right. Right, okay. So, taking a landscape. Outer path. If knowledge is printing on the end of game tile, you gain this knowledge, you gain the points by handing in lapis papyrus once. The tile shows exactly how many. You then remove the end of game tile, place it next to the end of game tiles. Place the next one from the stack. Wow, interesting. Okay. When do I gain? When do I put those in? When do you place end of game? Ah, here we go. Oh, no, we don't. Where is it? This is killing me. I read it. I know it's in the rulebook. Mm-hmm. I am looking for when we add end of game tiles to the board. As soon as you've taken the last good from a game board space, immediately reveal the topmost endgame tile and place it on the vacated space. Got it. Okay. All right. Sorry, that was my first time doing that, so I just want to make sure I didn't screw that up. So, as you might have remembered during the intro, this stack of tiles right here at the right bottom corner is our end of game tiles. What happens is when you deplete a location, which I've done twice, these two mountain locations here no longer have the ability to provide anything. When that happens, you reveal one of those two tiles and they go on top. So now that stack of endgame tiles is getting thinner and thinner. But when you land there, you will get the stuff that's on that. We'll talk about those when we reach them. But for now, that's the only upkeep we need to worry about. Right. So we built our third city, and we built a landscape tile, and we did not take this river scoring, which is probably going to bite me in the ass. But, right. What is that? Mountains. Mountain scoring and 3 knowledge. That doesn't suck. Mountain scoring. When you score mountains, you determine the largest mountain area. I don't have a very large mountain area. This includes all landscapes containing a mountain invention. Okay, got it. Well, if that's the case, the largest for me right now is this right here. I have 3 mines, and that mountain there would be 4. A mine is counted as 2. Oh, wow. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I have a multiplier of 2, so that'd be 14 points. I'd gain 3 knowledge. And I could also produce more lapis. But before I do that, we have a tile to go get. Yes, we do. Oh, and it's a cool combination too. Check this out. I'm going to take my boat and we're going to move forward here. We're not going to take this tree, this forest multiplier. We are going to take these 2 actions. The thing we're going to do first is take this tile. This tile says, I have an invention that lets my wanderer move an additional space. So I'll be able to move up to 4 spaces now. And this invention is increasing the yield of your lapis mines. So now every lapis mine produces 2 lapis and not 1. I have 5 lapis mines. So that's going to produce 10 lapis for me when I produce now, which will happen right now. So because my priest is here, we're going to go here. And that gets me 2 more inventions as well. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inventions, which means we qualify for our second key. And our key goes right here. So now, if you'll see, what would happen here is we gained our 8th invention, which earned us this key. And what that does is every time we score inventions, we now score 1, 2, 3, 4 is the multiplier. And I have 8, so that would be 32 points every time we score inventions. All right, so we built the tile, but we did not produce yet, because if we look, that's weird. It's a strange angle for that. Why is that so freaking sideways? So odd. Cameras are weird. Okay. Moving out. So this is our second action right here, which is to produce lapis, which is convenient because I just upgraded my lapis efficiency. So now I produce twice as much lapis. I'm going to make damn sure I'm right. If your mines produce lapis, you produce an additional one. Yeah, that's what that means. Or maybe that just means I have one additional. Yeah, that's what it is, I think. Each mine in your display produces one lapis. The invention that gives you an additional lapis increases your production. In this example to the left, you take 2 lapis. Yeah, but that doesn't explain the, do I get double the lapis or do I just get 1 additional? The way it's written is I get 1 additional, but isn't that the same as a mine? If your mines produce lapis, you produce an additional 1. I think that means the mines produce an additional lapis. That's how I'm going to read it. If it's overpowered, so be it. You moved it too far. Exactly. If I'm misreading that or it was mistranslated, I'll get a clarification just either way from Barent. But I'm nearly certain that means each mine produces an additional 1. So I'm going to take 10 lapis. It's crazy. Probably OP, but I have 5 lapis mines. So if I don't make the rules, so I have 10 lapis. It's probably nuts. It's probably supposed to be 6 instead of 10, 1 additional. But if that's the case, it's no different than a mine. So I don't really understand why you would do it. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. And now, unfortunately, though, I'm kind of off over here, and I can't keep extending my river. Just kind of a bummer. Oh, hey, I built my 3rd city a while back and didn't realize it. I qualified for the city key as well. That's kind of cool. My 3rd city. Look at that. Look at that. I got to score cities now. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times however many tiles that is. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 7. So that's 56 points scoring cities. I need to get my knowledge up, yo. Crazy. I'm not going to get over there again for a while the rate I'm moving. I got to haul ass. But that's the value of having workers that can move 4, can get over there, no problem. Lickety split. Yeah. Is there any way to add more papyrus production before I produce? Not really. Everything that produces papyrus is behind me. I got to move around the board. So I can just once. Is it just once or can I do it multiple times? I think it's just once anyway because I only have 2 papyrus. So I think we're just going to do it. Any scorings I want to do? Any scorings I want to do? River. River what? Oh, I meant the multiplier bar. It's tilted a tad to the right. Is it? You talking this one? Yeah. It's kind of at a weird angle with the camera. So no matter what I do, it always looks a little skewed. It's fine. We're good. It's readable. Okay. Okay. So what I'm debating right now is I'm going to cross over here at some point soon, this area over here. When I pass this, I'm going to be able to spend papyrus for one of these when I cross this, I'm going to be able to spend papyrus to do one of these scorings. And I also need to ensure that when I get to this side of the board over here, that I still have 3 papyrus to get 9 knowledge, because it's really important to get that chunk of knowledge every time you hit this spot. So I don't want to overspend papyrus. But as it turns out, I only have 2 papyrus on hand. So even if I could do this multiple times, I can only afford to do it once this time anyway. So I think it's kind of a moot point. So now what I'm debating is, what do I do next? I could, I'll bump over there a little bit. Yeah. Okay. So I could do this city scoring, but I don't have a lot of knowledge. Well, that's not true. I have 35 knowledge. That's not nothing. So I'd get 35 points if I did that. My mountain scoring would be 7 times 2. So I could come here and do this one first and produce more lapis, which would just be obscene. No, yeah, you're right. I could do river scoring. But I'm looking around, and the only place that I can do river scoring right now is down here, because this is a river scoring tile location. And all of my workers are way over on the other side of the board. So, So what I'm looking at right here is, do I score mountains and then come over here and score cities and then cross? Seems reasonable. Yeah. I don't see why I wouldn't do that. I'm not losing out on anything that's really going to keep me up at night doing that. So yes, we're going to move our worker there. And we are going to not take this sanctuary multiplier. And we are, well, I got plenty of lapis. Why produce right now? I don't need it. I'll take the sanctuary multiplier. Why not? I have sanctuaries. Okay, fine. So we'll plug that in right there. Now we multiply by 3 for our sanctuaries. Okay. And then instead of producing, we're going to score mountains. We've never scored mountains before. This will be an interesting idea. How it works is you look at your largest cluster of mountains. They have to be connected to each other. I have like 2 here. No, I just have 1 here. I have 1 here. I have 1 there. This is my largest cluster of mountains. And you count the mountains themselves and the mines that are on them. And every mine is on a mountain location. So I have 4 mountains and 3 mines. That's 7 points. So we have 7 points. If we look there, our mountains are times 2. That's 14 points. But before we worry about that, we gained the 3 points at the location we were at. So we're here. We gained 3 knowledge. So before I forget, I'm taking the 3 knowledge to 38. And because 14 is less than 38 knowledge, I just gained 14 points straight up, and it goes to 40. Okay, not bad. So now we're at 40 points and 38 knowledge. Pretty good. Now we remove this scoring that we did. But because we didn't take the production, we now remove any other good anywhere else on the board. And what do I want to get rid of? Let's pop out a little broader and we'll look. Oh, that's a river for later. The river multiplier anyway. What do we want to get rid of? I don't think we're really going to score woods a whole lot. We could get rid of woods. Could get rid of a landscape tile we don't like. We got plenty of mines, so I could get rid of this last mine, which would then expose this tile and get an endgame tile on it. It's hastening the end of the game, but not the worst thing. Or I could go the opposite direction and delay that. Oh, that's odd. No, it's not. That should be there. That's frustrating. But I don't care enough to get up and pause the stream to go fix it, so I'm not going to. Sorry about that, though. That's very strange. Thanks for the catch. I will go look at it. I probably clicked the eyeball on that source and didn't think about it. Or didn't realize I had. Okay, so what am I going to do? I need to get rid of something. I think I'm just going to get rid of this sanctuary. I can still build 2 of them. There's still 2 left. It doesn't trigger another endgame tile just yet. And it's probably the least restrictive thing I could do. So, okay. I need to get my priest back onto a river tile. So I could go there again, but I don't really want to do woods scoring. It's not really going to be terribly beneficial. I do have a 2 multiplier with woods, but it's the same deal. And I only have like 3. No, I only have 2. So, nah, kind of a waste. Oh, yeah, no, that was not among them. That was not intentional. So good catch. I think I shall move the boat. We'll go 1, 2. Now, the thing is, if I don't build a sanctuary here, and I don't need to, and I don't even have bonuses for temple. If I don't build this temple, then I will put another tile out. I think that's okay. I think I'm just going to do that. I'm going to take the river multiplier, and that'll go onto the board. And then I'm going to score cities for the first time. But before I do, I gain 1 knowledge, so I'm up to 39 knowledge. Now, cities are crazy, man, especially for me right now. We're going to count the tile, the tile that the city's on. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then the number of shared tiles between all the cities. And I think what that means is that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 1, 2, 3 plus 5 is 8 points. I don't think this counts. I think it's literally just the minimum number of in between. I think that's how it's written. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points. Okay, so it's 8 points, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 multiplier. 8 times 7 is 56 points. I can't earn 56 points. I'm just not smart enough, but I can earn 39. So I'm going to earn 39 points. Why not? So 40 plus 30 is 70. So what we do is we take this shield right here. So I'm at 40. We take this shield and we cover that 50 up. So we go 30 plus 40 is 70. So we're going to go to 20. And then it is 30, what did I say, 38 points? 39 points? Doesn't really matter. I think it's 38. I think I moved that to show it. It's 38 points. So now we go plus 8. So it's 28 points. Boom. So now we're at 78 points. Because we have one shield on the 50 over there. Okay, so this comes off because we did it. And we did take the multiplier, so that's the end of that turn. Unfortunately, what it means, though, is that this last temple comes off because I didn't do it, and that means that an end of game scoring tile comes out. Here's the problem with end of game scoring tiles. It's not really a problem per se. It's just something that I now need to worry about. That says if I spend 3 lapis and 3 papyri, I will earn 14 points and 10 knowledge. I get the 10 knowledge regardless. And if I can't afford or don't want to spend that, I would just get the knowledge and not the points. But I don't really want to land there because I don't have the papyri right now. But what I guess I could do is move the boat forward, which would let me generate papyri. That's not the worst plan, actually. Let's do that. So we're going to take that and we're going to move it down here. Sure, let's go with that. So the boat is going to cross the threshold. Actually, it goes here. The boat is going to cross the threshold. This lets me spend 2 papyri to run one of these scorings. I am definitely going to do that. I'm going to spend the last 2 papyri I have. Now, which one of these do I want to run? Here's the catch. For every one of these that I run, I have to discard another one of them. So I only get to run 3, and I have to discard the other 3. Well, we're going to discard this because we don't care about temples. I think let's go ahead and earn the 4 knowledge and run the invention scoring. Yeah. 4 knowledge, 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 42. And now we look at our board and we count the number of inventions. Well, we know it's at least 8. I think it is just 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, where is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8. Okay, so we look at 8 and then we look at our multipliers and it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 times 8? 64 points? Holy moly. No, it's 8 times 4. What am I doing? My math is way off. 8 times 4, 32 points. That's much better. Okay, 32 points. Still, that's a lot of points. So, 28 to 58. We'll add a shield. And we'll go to, let's see, 28, 38, 48. That's 20. No, I was at 28. So 28 to 38 is 10. 38 to 48 is 20. 48 to 8 is 30. 2 points is 10. Okay. And now we're at 110 points. Okay, now we're out of papyrus. We need to take our 2 actions. I get to produce papyrus. That's good, but I can build a tile. The trouble is I can't build a river right now. I do have the ability to look at that other tile, but I can't move my priest because I don't have my other worker on this same tile with me right here. So if I'm unable to produce either of, or to build either of those two landscapes, I do get to just forfeit it and discard one of them, I guess, or I could discard the multiplier instead. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build. Ooh, I got lucky. Look it, I got lucky. So the other tile down here is just a land tile, and I can build that. So I'm going to build this tile instead, and that leaves this tile there. The reason I can do that is because on my landscape tile, I have this special ability, this invention, which lets me look at one other tile, the next tile down in the stack, and decide which one I want. And I leave the other one there. So I have that invention, which lets me have that ability. So because of that, I can build this. I'll build it right side up for once. Right there, and then the priest will move over there. Still not able to build a river, but I wasn't out the building. And I did get another legal sanctuary, another mountain, and another tree. Not the worst. Okay. So we're not taking this tree multiplier, or the woods multiplier, so that's gone. But we are going to produce papyri. And if we look back on our board, I think we still only produce 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to produce 5 papyri. So now we'll be okay when we reach the other side of the board when we want to buy more knowledge, because we have 5 more papyri in our pockets. Okay, that's the end of that turn. And none of those spaces are empty, so I still didn't have to put out another tile. Now, here's the funny part. Let's go ahead and just cross this threshold again. So now I can move my worker, or my priest, because I do have my 2 workers in the same sector. So that lets me move my priest. So the priest comes back to the river. So now my priest is back on this river. He was here because we just finished building that tile. Now he's back here. And so we can go ahead and build this tile. No reason not to. And we will produce more papyri, which is good, but we actually should have done this crossing the threshold action first. I had 5 from my prior action we produced. So I'm going to spend 2 more and do another one of these. I think the best one is still the invention. So we'll do that and we'll discard this woods. We're not going to do those woods. We're going to do that again. It's 32 points. We just did it. So we're going to gain 4 knowledge this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're to 46 knowledge. And then we'll score another 32 points. So we're at 10, we're going to go to 42. Now we're at 142 points. Crunchity, crunchity, crunchity. Okay, this is great. Moving right along. Okay, since this is empty, we now put another end score tile on. So the game clock is ticking now. When that stack is empty, game over, whether I've scored these endgame tiles or not. I do have enough to gain 9 more knowledge when I cross that threshold. That's tempting. Do I build another city? I can. I have the lapis for it. It would cost me 4. And if I do that, I'd have to build it in some woods. And it would add 2 points to my to my city scoring doing that. That's not the worst. Because that's times 7, so that's actually 14 additional points, assuming I get my knowledge up high enough. Or do I focus on other things? There is a river scorer coming up. There's no harm, though, in building that city. Silly not to. Let's move the boat. Oh, right. Priest moved over there. So we'll go ahead and move the boat. And can you see where the boat is? You can. Great. So I will take this tile. And I'll just stick it on the end of the river. Easy enough. And then I will, and the priest moves over to it. And then I will, for my second action, build the city for 4 lapis. Yeah. And even if it was 6 lapis and I got the rule wrong, I still had enough. So I'm not too worried. Now, to build the city, we got to look for an open forest. And this is the best spot because it extends the distance between the cities. The max distance increased by 2. The tile it's on, and then this one. Okay. Doing good. Okay, so since we exposed 2 locations, we have to now deal 2 tiles into this location. We're here, actually. Like so. Boy, I do have some lappy left. Maybe I spend that 6 lappy and get 20 points and 4 knowledge. That seems really nice. Is there a way I can produce lapis? Oh, there is a way I can produce lapis. Ha ha ha. Wait. Maybe I do both of these. Yeah, let's do both of these. But before we do that, we got to earn some lapis. So we'll come over here. Our other 2 workers who we have forgotten about, because we were so close together, I said, I'm going to work the other 2 workers for a while and leave these guys right where they are. Well, I'm going to go ahead and move my wanderer over here. And yeah, sure, I would build that. No problem at all. We're going to build that for my first action, which of course makes me have to fill in another of those. And then for my second action, we're going to go ahead and produce lapis, which then takes that off the table. Producing lapis is another 10 lapis for me. Okay, that's 5. That's 10. Lots of lappy. Great. Tons of lapis. Just the way we like it. I could move the priest, and I think I will. Because in order to build this tile, the priest goes up here. I don't want to be in a dead end, so I'm going to use that priest movement to put him right back on the main river. Okay. My river's huge. It's time to score that bad boy, but that's in a minute. Oh, by the way, I guess I could have... No, I guess that's not true. That tile came out. Ignore me. Game state confusion. Okay, back to here. This, by the way, is a really cool puzzle. I'm really having a good time with this. Now, I'm going to move my wanderer to this section here, and we're going to do both of these endgame scorings. It's going to cost me 9 lapis. I have a ton. I have 10 plus, I think, 6. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. 9 lapis goes away. Okay, we're going to do both of these. I'm going to get 29 points and 8 knowledge total. So I'm going to do the knowledge first. I'm at 46 knowledge. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same deal. We put a little gray marker on the 50 to mark the lap. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is 50. And then we move that to 4 on the other side. So now we have 54 knowledge. Right. And then what did we say? 29 points? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is 50 is the next. So that's the 9. And then we'll go, what did I say was the points? 29? Okay, so we'll go 20 more points. So now we're there. What are we at? 150, 170 points. Doing good. So these are both gone. And they both get replaced. That means I only have 3 left. But I think that was pretty good. Didn't have to spend any papyrus, and I got a ton of stuff out of it. We're at 54 knowledge. I think we can pretty much take care of the scoring, the full scoring benefit of cities now, if I can find one. There is an end game, though. That key doesn't have to be out there anymore. Okay. Wouldn't be the worst idea to get that. Did we get our 5th sanctuary? Do we have 5? We do. We do have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, in fact. So we should have gotten this key. Because we needed 5 sanctuaries. We have 7. So that comes back down here. Gets slotted in. And here's why that matters. Even though I haven't been scoring them, there is an end game scoring. So I will get that end game scoring because I have the key. Awesome. If nothing else, we might still score it. But what do I want to do next? This is getting, this is point salad coming up now. Oh, that's interesting. Check this out. I just saw this. This endgame scoring tile costs 3 papyri, which I wasn't going to do, but I gained 10 knowledge. The other, just passing that over there gains me 9 knowledge, so I would actually get an extra knowledge and points. I have the lappy. So this is a better deal. I should just hop on over there. I can. I certainly have the distance. That's way better. Is there anything else I want in the meantime? I have to be careful now because anything I do on the way will put endgame scoring tiles out. And the moment I can't put another endgame scoring tile out, the game is over. So I have to be like really intentional with what I do. I think. So part of me is like, do I come here, build another town? I have the lapis, but the lapis is probably better for using these endgame tiles. I don't want to spend it on building cities right now. I just don't think there's enough benefit. I might get the extra sanctuary out of it. There's not really enough benefit to spending time here. I think I'm going to be wanting to jump between endgame scoring tiles. That's going to be the best bet I have. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. We go 1, 2, 3 because we have two upgraded movement on our wanderers. Is that what we want to do? No, we want to go 4. So we can actually go 4 because we can go 2 plus 2. So we were here at 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to spend the 3 remaining papyri I have and 3 of my remaining lapis. We're going to gain 10 knowledge and 14 points. 14 points first. Was it 20? So it's 34. And 10 knowledge Now we're at 14. So now we're at 64 knowledge. So this is gone. And this comes out. And the good news is there's enough here that I have no temples. So that doesn't help me whatsoever. But I'll gain the knowledge. Might as well. I'll gain the 1 knowledge to 15. And then this will be gone. This flips over. And then this discards. So I didn't have to put another endgame scoring tile down. It's great. Now, where do I want to go next? I have 2 endgame scoring tiles left. Well, before I come across this threshold and produce more papyrus, I could build this landscape tile right here, which would let me make 1 more papyrus, which wouldn't suck, and it would give me another sanctuary too. On the other hand, I could come here first on the way. No matter what I do, I'm dropping a tile, which is not altogether a bad thing, but this would let me score rivers for the first time, and my river is massive. And I have a lot of upgrades. So I think I need to not ignore that. We're going to move the boat to do it, though. So we are going to build a mine, because what the hell, we might as well. And we're going to have to drop something no matter what happens. So I don't really have huge mountain ranges or anything, so no big deal. We'll do it there, because this is our largest one. So we did produce the mine, but we are going to do that, which means we're not going to do this. That's going to flip. And then this is what we're doing. We gain 2 knowledge, 15 to 17. And then we score the rivers. Now, let's just triple, quadruple check that scoring the river is just stupid at this stage. Yeah, in the river scoring, you determine your largest connected river network. Each landscape included in this counts as 1. All river tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 points times 4. 14 times 4. Whew, what is that? 56? No, 58. I think. Where's my phone? I can't do math. 14 times 4. 56. I was right the first time. Okay. And guess what? I have 67 knowledge. So I can get all 56 of that of those points. Fantastic. 56 points. Okay. So we'll go to do 6 points first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is at 40. Plus 50 points. So we get another loop. There. 50 points. What would that be? 10 to 4. It's back to here again, right? We just lapped it. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Right, so this comes off. This flips over. Ooh, that's cool. That's you choose any scoring. There's only one of those in the whole game. Okay, one more tile comes out. Yikes-a-hootie. One last one to place. I'll be able to place it, but then the next time I have to place it, I won't be able to do anything. Now, look at this. This tile came out the last time I was here. If I cross this threshold, I'm going to produce 6 lapis. This lets me get 25 points straight up. Or not lapis, papyri. So I'd spend 5 of my 6 right here. That's pretty good. 25 points is a lot. And not for nothing, I could come over here and get 10 more knowledge and 6 more points. Hold on. I can see the quality just did something stupid. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Hopefully that didn't glitch out. Hold on. Am I back? We're back. And we're back. Okay. Sorry about that. Now, so what are we doing? We are, sorry, I had to deal with that for a moment. So if I come here, I will get that done and the last tile will come out. I could then come over here. Is it going to be dumb again? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. I could come here and then get 10 more knowledge and 6 more points. I think that's pretty good. That'd be 31 more points before we even get into endgame scoring. I like that. I think that's probably the best we can hope for. The other option, no, that's not even as good. That's pretty massive, the amount of points that gives me. So I'm going to do that. We're going to move here with our worker. Yeah, you can see that. Good. And then I'm going to produce. So that gives me 6 papyri. Nothing in the game multiplies your papyri production, by the way, which is very interesting, at least that I've seen. There might be a building somewhere that I haven't seen on a landscape tile, but 6 papyri, and then we're going to spend 5 of it. And that means that this goes away because I don't care about it. And we're going to do that. So 25 points straight up. 15. 15, and we add another shield. By the way, we have passed 250 points. So now we're at 265. If I recall correctly, that is the minimum to win against the lowest pointed opponent. We haven't even done endgame scoring yet. Hammurabi is next at 290. So we have officially won at the easiest level so far. So this is done. This comes out. And we can no longer place endgame scores. So I could nickel and dime this a moment. And I think I should, at least a little bit. Yeah. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to move the boat 1 step. And this is a inventions scoring. And we get 4 more knowledge. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're up to 21. Well, actually, it's 71. And now we score our inventions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Times 2 is 18 points. No, times 4. 9 times 4, 36 points. This is good for us. So 36 is 51 points. We add another shield. Boop. There are 6 shields there now. Okay, so, oh, that's just silly. Do I produce Lappy, or do I get the city scoring and just be stupid about it? Can I even get it? Like, would I even get the value? First of all, let's go ahead and just discard that so I don't forget. Well, let's see. It would be 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 times however many points I would earn. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points. So that would be, what did I say? 9 times 10? That's 90 points? No. I wouldn't even be able to get that many points. If I don't do that, it would be 10 times 7, 70 points. That I can get. I don't think it's actually worth it. I think it's better to produce the lapis, just in case I land on one last thing and it costs a lot. Over here, there's one that costs 4. I have 4, but that's all. I don't suppose there's any endgame scoring for a lapis in your possession, is there? Probably not. No. I don't think. Let's look. Is there? Mm-hmm. Right. Final scoring. Key scoring. Majority scoring. No. No. Okay, so there's no reason to hoard lapis. So if that's the case, are there any scorings left to do that are actually worth doing? This one. This would be a massive one. Let's make that a city scoring. I think that's actually the better last move, is to go here and make and make that a city scoring, because that's, I get to choose what that is. So if I make that as city scoring, I'm going to score cities, and then I'm going to score cities again. That's massive, actually. For that to come out right now at the end of the game and have me have access to it is really big. Yeah, that's by far the best move. So with that in mind, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and take it. And we are going to have a ridiculous scoring, but it's fine because I won't be able to take advantage of that many points. But I do get some knowledge from doing this scoring, I think. I'll double check it, but so I get to discard. I have to discard something else because I'm not doing this production. So I'll discard this like woods scoring, which I'm never going to do, and it doesn't trigger the end of the game because there's still another tile underneath it. So here we are. We're here. So this flips over, and now we're ready for my last, what will be the last action of the game. Yeah, I'll take this worker. I'll move it in here. First things first. Now, does it end right away, or do I get to complete my action? The game ends with the final turn. Okay, so I get to complete my turn. Great. So this is definitely the last action. Let's do the easy one first, and we'll actually gain a little knowledge that way, which gains us more points. So two lapis, that leaves me with 2 lapis left. So I gain 5 knowledge, 21 to 26. So that's 76 knowledge and 6 points. 1 to 7. Okay. Now that's done, and that technically triggers the end of the game. And now let's triple check how to resolve the question mark score, just because I don't want to give myself knowledge if I don't actually earn it. If you take the scoring tile question mark, you can perform any of the 7 scoring types. Yep. Okay. I'm going to go find it. So I guess I technically earn, I'm going to do that one. That's what I'm doing. I earn 1 point. So I go 27. Okay. So we're at, we have 77 knowledge. So cities, let's look at that. We're going to have to do it anyway. So one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 times 10. Remember that number, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 90 points. Ridiculous. I can't actually score all 90. I can only score 77. So we're going to score 77 points. So it's 22 plus a shield. This stack of shields is so large I can't really even stack it very even. So what did I say? It's 77 points, so it's 27 points. So we're going to go to 27 there plus 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 34. Oh boy. Okay, so that was the first of 77 points from my cities. This is ridiculous. I zoomed back out. Are you able to see? You're able to see. Okay. All right. I believe that now means it is the end of the game. All right. The game ends as usual as soon as no new endgame tiles can be placed. You carry out the key scoring as usual. Right, so let's do key scoring first. For each key tile in your display, you perform the corresponding scoring for yourself. So we get, okay. So we'll pop in here. These are all the end game scoring actions I get to take. I don't earn any more knowledge for them, but I get to score all of these one more time. Right. Okay, so this is a 4 multiplier on 9 inventions. It's 36 points. 36. I hate doing math. Okay. That's 34 rather. 34. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's kind of nice. Over to 20. Okay, add another shield. So we have so many shields, I'm just going to break them down by hundreds. Okay, so that takes care of inventions. Rivers. No, we'll do river last. That's obscene. We'll do rivers and cities last. Sanctuaries, my one and only sanctuary scoring. I have 5 multiplier, and we need to look at the number of valid sanctuaries. They have to be not orthogonally adjacent. None of my sanctuaries are orthogonally adjacent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sanctuaries. All legal. Times 5 is 35 points. Down to 5, add a shield. Okay. Okay, so that takes care of that. We'll do river next. It's a times 4 multiplier. I think nothing has changed, but I'll double check it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 times 4. 56 points. Right, so 6 is 11 and another shield. Now comes the last, I believe, 77 points is what we figured out. Because it's 11 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh no, that's right. It is 77 because I have 77 knowledge. That's the max I could do. Okay. 77. So we'll go 27, so that makes it 38. And one more shield. Wow. Wow. Okay, that's the key scoring, because I did my last endgame scorings from all of my keys. Majority scoring, if you have built 4 or more cities, yes. How does majority scoring work? Player with the most cities or most temples may perform a wood scoring with each of these, for each of these majorities. A wood scoring. Interesting. Okay, well, I have built 4 or more, so I can do a wood scoring. I've never done a wood scoring. Do cities count? No. Okay. Right. Okay, so it's just the woods and largest wood area orthogonal. I don't have a very big one. It's just these two, these two, these two. So it doesn't really matter. 2 times 2 is 4. No problem. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Oh, whoa. Whoa. We good? Oh, we might be a little jittery. Okay, we're back. We're back. Okay, good. I didn't do anything. I noticed it right away, so I just paused. You didn't miss anything, I don't think. We just did a little wood scoring because we have the majority of cities according to the solo rules. If you have built 4 or more temples, you may perform a wood scoring. I have not, so I got to skip that. 12 or... Okay. Stream fuzz. I know. I waited. Okay. If you have collected 12 or more scoring tiles. Oh, I didn't count them. Mountain scoring. I didn't count them. I just set them aside. I didn't set them aside. I should have. I don't know how many I did. I don't know if it was 12, so I won't score that. Continuous river, 12 or more. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yes. I may perform a mountain scoring. Oh, okay. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 2, 16 points. Hey, that's nice. Okay, good. We're good? Yeah. Okay, so we're at 42. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And add another shield. That makes the math a little faster. Holy moly. Okay. I think I did well. Here's how this is going to go. I'm going to come up here and we're going to count out these stacks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0, 8. I beat Tiamat, which is 400 points. I did 608 points. To me, that seems like I did something very wrong. I can't imagine that I didn't screw something up somewhere along the lines from a rules perspective for that to have actually been valid. Unless I just really super gamed this system somewhere. But I honestly don't think I did. I consulted the rules everywhere I could. I didn't know this game at all before playing it. I just think I scored 608 points. If somebody sees that I am incorrect, please reach out to me. Either join the stream or get in touch with me on Twitch. Or I think if you go to megashub.com, I have a contact form. I don't remember. If I don't, I will. But either way, join me on Twitch and weigh in. Yeah, and let me know if I got something wrong. But I gotta say, even if I did get some rule wrong, really, really love this puzzle. The fact. Oh wait. I don't want to get into final thoughts without using my newfangled lower thirds. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so impressions. First impressions. I really enjoy that kind of efficiency puzzle. The balance of spending my time on, do I get the multipliers for things that I may not ever score? I don't know. Do I spend time on the river? And if I do, what do I prioritize? Do I prioritize the river itself? Do I prioritize adding things that are going to give me inventions? Do I prioritize these areas for forests and mountains or mines or what? Like, then on top of that, you're prioritizing, as you're going around the rondel, you're prioritizing where you send your guys so that you can, if your workers end up on the same spot. You can then move your priest around with impunity, which is super powerful. I kind of wonder whether or not the solo player should get 4 workers. That seems like a lot. I was able to get anywhere and do anything at pretty much any time, as long as I was careful about how I organized their movement. I really love the production spaces, and they just happen to land after each of these 2 little lines that you cross. It just happened to be that way. I literally shuffled them. That's just how it came out. I don't know if that made things easier or harder, but because everything is so shuffled and randomized, yet the permutations are a very limited set of different types of actions. It's not like there's a million different types of these tiles, and this is just a distribution I saw. Those are the same tiles you're going to see every single game. They're just going to be distributed completely differently. And the scoring tiles on top of them distributed completely differently. And the multiplier tokens distributed completely differently. And the scoring that you can do when you cross this threshold, those 6 will be different. And in fact, there will be more depending on how many players you're playing. Not just these 6. It feels like a lot to juggle, but it really isn't. I can see myself playing this game about as much as I want to play Burgundy. And that says a lot. It just has a great, the push, pull, the where do I go, what do I get, when do I get it, does this advantage me or not? The randomization of all the different things means the replayability is going to be through the roof. That it's tightly balanced. Once you get your head wrapped around setup and how it works, it took me a minute with the rule book. It's not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just, it's a new way of thinking, and that took me a minute to think about it. But once you do, the setup is going to be fast because you'll understand the game. It's really just stepping through it the first time that is going to take a little extra time, but that's fine. And I'm not feeling this strongly just because I won the game really handily. I don't really feel like that at all. I was excited whether I won or lost. I would have been happy if I had just won by a breath, by like 1 point. I would have been like, okay, good. I got one. I got on the board, right? Good enough. And I still would have loved it. Even if I'd lost, I think I still would have loved it as long as I was at least marginally close. It concerns me a little that I was able to get 600 points in my first play without anything. But maybe I did something wrong. I don't know. I don't think so. However, regardless, production value, great. It is a little dark. It is sometimes a little hard to see things. I think it's worse on camera than it is in person, but it's very colorful. I actually really enjoy the main board. The table presence is lovely. It's very inviting. It isn't terribly thematic. I think it's very, the thematic integration I think is a little lower, but it's still, because I'm producing papyrus and I'm mining lapis, I don't really get the sense of it being a civilization builder, except maybe here in the Tableau build. But the adjacency rules and stuff, it's all very arbitrary and Euro, right? There's not like a thematic reason why these things are the way they are. Obviously, you want your cities spread out, so it makes sense that your cities are a little farther apart. That part's thematic. This whole like scoring multiplier thing, very Euro. There's no it doesn't translate into anything thematic at all, other than maybe you're gaining prosperity from these things and you're getting better at using the resources in your land. But that's a stretch. This whole multiplier concept is very just mechanics straight, which, hey man, I like it. It feels good. And because the multipliers, well, that's not true, strictly speaking. Like the inventions one, the multiplier there, you only get a lot of points if you evolved your civilization to the point where you're inventing a lot of different types of technologies, and those unlock abilities. So there is theme here. It's just not, it's not the like thickest theme in the world. But it's not themeless either. I'm not playing a spreadsheet like so many roll and writes, so many flip and writes. I do feel like at some point I'm playing Excel. That is not this at all. I feel like with all of the randomization, all of the different replayability that's in this game, I could come back to this over and over again and play a woefully different game. I may not prioritize rivers at all because of what comes out. I don't know. Like, I think at some point you kind of have to, but I don't know. The only thing that I didn't really focus on at all was temples, but that's only just because the way the placement worked, I didn't really need them. I used temples as a Band-Aid for solving bad placement, but I was always able to make placement work. So, you know, in the end, I would love to actually play this multiplayer. I would be very curious what happens when there's another player out there gobbling up stuff. And it could be that maybe I just didn't find a rule correctly in the solo. Playing solo. No, there's nothing here that says things get removed or anything. I should have mentioned that there is a mini expansion for this game called Assure. It looks like that. It comes in this little bag. There's some tiles. It's other tiles you place on your sieve. It just would have added a lot of like, not arbitrary rules, but extra little load on top of a game I didn't really understand very well at the beginning. So I just didn't want to add the extra complexity. But I'm curious how well that's going to stack into the mix. I don't know. There's just a lot of game here. And it was absolutely worth importing it from Germany. If and when, and I do hope that there is a US distributor for this, definitely pick this one up. I don't say that very often. I mean, I do say that every game is great that I play and like pick it up. I play that a lot. I say that a lot. I really mean it at this point. If this is your type of game, this one sings kind of like Peloponnese sung, with way better art, way more updated mechanics. This is my kind of game. This is my kind of Euro right here. So what else can you say? I think that really is it for me today. This has been Papyria. I had a great time playing it. I hope you had a great time watching it. And if I got something wrong, please track me down, tell me what it is, and I will update the show notes. But if that's it for today, then catch me next week for something completely different. All right. See you guys later.